Good evening, it's 11 o'clock. Here now with me, Dallas Elliott for TVS Nightline. Here are the headlines for tonight. Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Uping said cooperation of all stakeholders is vital to achieving zero rabies goal by 2030. Prime Minister Dato' Sri Anwar Ibrahim called for an end of subsidies for privileged students in top government school in ensuring fairness in distribution. And another crocodile has been caught by the Sarawak Forestry Corporation in Kuala Baram. Sarawak recorded a staggering 12,587 animal bite cases up until August this year, an average of 360 cases weekly. During the same period, 6 new human rabies cases have also been reported. Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Uping said that authorities are now intensifying efforts to eradicate rabies in the region by 2030, noting that the zero rabies goal can only be realized through the cooperation of all stakeholders. In a speech read by Deputy Premier Dato' Amar Dr. Sim Kui Hian at the opening ceremony of Rabies in Borneo 2024 conference, the Premier emphasized the need for collaboration in educating the public and detecting and preventing the spread of rabies through vaccination.
Rabies is a fatal disease, but it is 100% preventable with vaccination. That is why this conference is so important. It is an opportunity for us to come together to learn about the latest rabies control and prevention strategy and to share our knowledge and experience.
He added that through the Immune Belt Enforcement Team, or IBET, a total of 21,860 dogs have been vaccinated, achieving 89% herd immunity within the Immune Belt zone in 2023. He also urged owners to be responsible in ensuring their pets are vaccinated and not allow their dogs to roam freely. Overall, over 36,900 dogs have been vaccinated across Sarawak by the Department of Veterinary Services Sarawak DVS and IBET, inching closer to the target of 50,000 by year-end. Similarly, the public are called to be vigilant as the rabies transmission patterns in Sarawak are evolving and not limited to just stray dogs. Deputy Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Amar Dr. Sim Kui Hian warned that rabies now affects both household dogs and cats alike.
The public must play their role and do their part, and the public must be aware of the changing patterns of rabies. It's no longer just dogs, it's cats, as well as no longer street dogs, it's your pet. Yeah? So that means yearly vaccination for your dogs. Number one. Number two, if anybody got scratches or dog bites or what, right, go to the bite clinics, yeah? Because if you get vaccinated after dog bites, right, you can be sure of 100% no rabies in your brain. But if you don't, almost 100% of the dog's rabies will go to your brain with 99% die.
He told the media this after attending the Rabies in Borneo Conference 2024 in Kuching on Monday. In a fight against this public health threat, Dr. Sim said the Department of Veterinary Services Sarawak DVSS, in collaboration with the Sarawak Digital Economy Corporation, has developed the Rabies app.
And we spend so much money on promoting it. We had digitalize it, we had the apps, but now it's the public. The public must play their role and do their part. And the public must be aware of the changing patterns of rabies. It's no longer just dogs, it's cats, as well as no longer street dogs, it's your pet.
And still on rabies, Sarawak aims to eradicate rabies by 2030. However, Minister for Food Industry, Commodity and Regional Development Sarawak, Dato Sri Stephen Rundi Utam, acknowledges that the goal is not without its challenges. He emphasized that while vaccination campaigns are crucial, they alone may not be enough to reach the target. To address these issues, he highlighted the introduction of the IBET initiative, which aims to control dog movements and prevent the cross-border spread of rabies. He also stressed the crucial role of law enforcement in raising public awareness and ensuring compliance with regulations to support the state's efforts.
I think what we can do is we have to zone all this area, create the hotspot. Once we have created the hotspot, then we'll be able to put more effective or impactful effort that we can make, so that we'll be able to make sure that from there, then we can move on.
Since the first rabies outbreak was reported in 2017, there have been 74 fatalities reported to date. The 2024 Rabies in Borneo Conference, theme United Against Rabies, Protecting Animals, Enforcing Laws and Community Engagement, takes place from September 30th to October 1st in Kuching, Sarawak. Key discussions include the tripartite commitment to eradicate rabies by 2030 under the Global Alliance for Rabies Control, the ASEAN Rabies Elimination Strategy, community involvement, oral rabies vaccines, and rabies enforcement operations. The tourism sector is a major driver of both regional and national economy. Bukit Kota Assemblyman Dato Dr. Abdul Rahman Ismail emphasized that Limbang's strategic location near neighboring countries play a crucial role in attracting tourists to Sarawak. He added that this influx of visitors also creates opportunities for local residents to increase their income and strengthen the local economy.
Membawa ramai pelancong-pelancong ke Sarawak. Dan saya percaya Limbang antara pengembang pelancong datang ke Sarawak sebab kita berdekatan dengan Brunei. Pada tahun ini, tahun 2024, target jumlah pelancong ke Sarawak berjumlah 4 juta. 4 juta melebihi penduduk Sarawak. Kita kepada 2,8 juta. Tahun 2025, target 5 juta untuk datang ke Sarawak. Dan pelancongan merupakan salah satu daripada sumber pendapatan yang menyumbang kepada pendapatan negeri dan negara.
Therefore, he urged all residents to seize the opportunities available through various initiatives implemented by the Sarawak government. For the record, Sarawak aims to attract 4 million tourists this year, including Limbang, which is among the contributors to the influx of visitors, particularly from Brunei, entering Sarawak. A group of 30 newly trained mediators who will act as community peacemakers successfully completed their basic mediation course on Monday. Minister of Women, Childhood and Community Wellbeing Development, Dato Sri Fatimah Abdullah, emphasized that these mediators will play a key role in resolving conflicts using a neutral and comprehensive approach. The mediators will act as intermediaries, facilitating cooperations between conflicting parties to peacefully and mutually agree on a resolution.
Ianya merupakan satu alternatif kepada ahli dalam masyarakat yang ada masalah dan bolehlah membawa masalah mereka kepada kumpulan-kumpulan ataupun authority yang mereka pilih. Sebab ini adalah pilihan masing-masing. Orang yang mempunyai masalah itu dia perlu ada pilihan. Pilihan di mana mereka merasa kalau mereka berjumpa dengan temenggung ke ataupun berjumpa dengan kaunselor ke, ketua kaum ke, mediator community, masalah mereka boleh diselesaikan tanpa pergi ke langkah yang seterusnya.
Mediation offers several advantages, including cost savings, as conflicts or issues handled by mediators typically do not require litigation or legal proceedings. The process also ensures confidentiality and fosters win-win solutions for both parties. Common issues brought to community mediators include public safety, environmental concerns, family disputes, and matters related to contracts and agreements. A 70-year-old man reported missing for 5 days was found dead near a vehicle at Kampung Beraya Batu 1 Miri on Sunday. The matter was confirmed by Miri District Police Chief ACP Alexander Naga Chabu, who was alerted on the grim discovery at 5:05 p.m. the same day. Following a tip-off, a police team from Tanjung Lubang Station was dispatched to the location. Upon arrival, they discovered the elderly man lying motionless outside the car. A medical officer from Bekenu Health Clinic pronounced the man dead at the scene. The body was then transported to Miri General Hospital's forensic unit for further investigation. Police have opened a sudden death report to determine the cause of death. The man had been reported missing since September 25th, and authorities are advising the public to avoid speculation as it could interfere with the investigation. Anyone with relevant information is urged to contact the nearest police station. In yet another crocodile capture, a 12.5-foot crocodile has been caught by the Sarawak Forestry Corporation SFC in Kuala Baram. This action comes in response to a tragic incident last week where a 59-year-old man was fatally attacked. In a statement posted on Facebook, SFC confirmed the successful capture of the reptile using a fishing line set in the area of the attack at Ladang Batu 4. The operation, which began on September 26 and is scheduled to continue until October 5th, was carried out by SFC Swift Wildlife Action Team SWAT, Wildlife Guardian Ranger, and the police. Authorities found various objects and debris in the reptile's stomach, which have been handed over to the police for further investigation. The attack claimed the life of Minggu Ikum, 59 years old, whose body was discovered the following day in a channel at an oil palm estate. His left hand and part of his leg were missing, heightening fears of a crocodile attack. The SFC's operation will continue to ensure public safety in the area. Welcome back. Prime Minister Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim has urged the cessation of subsidies for children from elite families attending top government-funded schools. He emphasized that the government aims to ensure fairness in distributing assistance by prioritizing vulnerable groups in need.
Bagaimana boleh dapat diagihkan dana? Bentuk ketirisan termasuk anak-anak golongan paling kaya ia ke sekolah-sekolah menengah sains yang dibantu dan diberi subsidi tinggi oleh kerajaan harus dihentikan. Ini saya hanya berikan himbauan awal sebelum umum belanjawan bulan depan.
He made this statement during the speech at the launch of the National Symposium on Eradicating Poverty 2024 at the Putrajaya International Convention Centre on Monday. According to Anwar, there is an unfair situation where children of senior public servants, political leaders, and prominent entrepreneurs are enrolled in the best government-funded schools. He stated that this does not reflect the percentage of poor children attending top educational institutions like science secondary schools and Maria Junior Science Colleges.
Sepatutnya kalau anak orang kaya itu dihantar ke fakulti kejuruteraan, ya Melayu atau Cina atau Iban, kalau dia bayarlah. Jadi dengan cara itu kita boleh menampung kekurangan. Kalau tidak, subsidi ini berterusan.
Anwar emphasized that the ongoing dependency syndrome among vulnerable groups on government assistance also needs to be addressed as soon as possible and should not be allowed to continue. A new report by the Department of Statistics Malaysia (DOSM) reveals that a baby born in Malaysia in 2024 is expected to live on average up to 75.2 years. Gender-wise, the average life expectancy for a baby girl is 77.8 years, which is 4.8 years longer than that of a baby boy, whose life expectancy is 73 years old. Selangor tops the list with the highest life expectancy for both males and females from 2022 to 2024, while Terengganu recorded the lowest during the same period. Males who reach the age of 60 years in 2024 is expected to live another 18.6 years, while females who reach the age of 60 years in 2024 is expected to live another 21.4 years. 3 states surpassed the national average life expectancies in 2024, namely Selangor, Labuan and Kuala Lumpur. At district level, Petaling Selangor recorded the highest life expectancy for 2024, while Samarhan Sarawak recorded the highest life expectancy at birth for 2022 and 2023. In contrast, Kuala Penyu Sabah recorded the lowest life expectancy at birth for the same period. The Malaysian ringgit closed marginally higher on Monday but still hit a 39-month high against the US dollar on a continued expectation of another cut in the US interest rate after the latest inflation data there. At 6 p.m., the ringgit traded at 4.12, up from Friday's closing. Bank Muamalat Malaysia Berhad Chief Economist Dr. Muhammad Afazan Nizam Abdul Rashid attributed the ringgit's upward resilience to continued expectation that the US Federal Reserve is on track to keep cutting interest rates further in light of the lower inflation trajectory in the United States. In global affairs, the United Nations reports a surge in the number of people fleeing Lebanon due to Israeli airstrikes. The latest figures revealed that 100,000 people have now crossed into Syria as the conflict intensifies. The UN's refugee chief, Filippo Grandi, confirmed the staggering increase, warning that the outflow shows no sign of slowing down. Grandi added that the UN Refugee Agency is stationed at 4 crossing points between Lebanon and Syria to assist both Lebanese and Syrian nationals fleeing the violence. Many of the refugees are women and children, arriving traumatized and in need of urgent assistance. The mass displacement began on September 23rd as Israel expanded its military strikes to target Hezbollah positions in Lebanon alongside ongoing operations in the Gaza Strip. According to Lebanon's health ministry, more than 700 people have been killed in the airstrikes over the past week, including 14 paramedics. The humanitarian crisis deepens with many of the displaced arriving in war-torn Syria, a country already grappling with its own 13-year conflict and economic collapse. The UN is calling for immediate assistance as the humanitarian needs continue to grow for those escaping the violence. In South Korea, a former police chief has been sentenced to 3 years in jail over a deadly crowd crush that killed more than 150 people in Seoul's Itaewon district in a tragedy that occurred during Halloween celebrations in October of 2022. Former Yongsan District Police Chief Lee Im-jae was found guilty of failing to prevent the crush, the first police officer to be convicted for the direct role in the disaster. The Seoul Western District Court ruled that the disaster was foreseeable, given the large crowds that gathered in the narrow sloping alleyways of Itaewon. The court found that Lee and his team failed to take adequate measures to ensure crowd safety. Another former police officer in charge of the Yongsan Police Emergency Center was also sentenced to 2 years in jail for similar charges. The incident has led to multiple convictions. Earlier this year, 2 former senior officers were jailed for destroying evidence, including internal reports warning of overcrowding risk ahead of the event. While some district-level officials have been prosecuted, victims' families are still calling for greater accountability, particularly from higher-ranking government officials, as the country grapples with the aftermath of yet another preventable tragedy. A SpaceX mission successfully docked with the International Space Station on Sunday, paving the way to bring back 2 astronauts who have been stranded for months. The Falcon 9 rocket, carrying NASA astronaut Nick Hague and Russian cosmonaut Alexander Gorbanov, launched from Cape Canaveral, Florida at 1:17 p.m. local time on Saturday and made contact with the ISS at 5:30 p.m. on Sunday. Hague and Gorbanov boarded the ISS just after 7 p.m., where they were warmly welcomed by their colleagues, including Station Commander Suni Williams. Williams and fellow astronaut Butch Wilmore, who were originally supposed to stay on the ISS for only 8 days, had their mission extended due to issues with the Boeing-designed Starliner spacecraft.
On behalf of Expedition 72, I just want to say welcome to our new compadres from Dragon Freedom. Alex, welcome to the International Space Station, and Nick, welcome back home to the International Space Station. It's great to be here with bringing the 72 back up to 11.
The Starliner, which delivered them to the ISS in June during its first crewed flight, encountered propulsion system problems. After weeks of testing the Starliner's reliability, NASA has decided to return it to Earth without its crew, leaving Wilmore and Williams stranded. The SpaceX Crew 9 mission, initially scheduled for mid-August, was postponed to late September due to further evaluations of the Starliner and Hurricane Helene's impact on Florida. With the successful docking of the Crew 9 mission, Hague and Gorbanov are set to stay on the ISS for 5 months, while Wilmore and Williams will return to Earth in February after spending 8 months aboard the space station. SpaceX, founded by Elon Musk, has been conducting regular missions every 6 months to rotate ISS crews. The latest mission marks a critical step in ensuring the safe return of astronauts after Boeing's Starliner setbacks. See the world closer with TVS as we bring you the latest news updates, both locally and internationally. For up-to-the-minute headlines, head on over to our website at tvsarawak.my or follow us on our social media platforms.
And those were the updates on TVS Nightline. I'm Douglas Elliott. Thank you for watching and have a good night.